Geometry Unit 4B study guide. What is the circumference of each circle? So to find circumference, we're going to multiply pi times diameter. For the first one, it gives me 5 is halfway through, so that is my radius. If the radius is 5, then the diameter is what's going to go all the way through. So it's double the radius. The diameter is double the radius. So the diameter is 10. C equals 3.14 times 10. The circumference is 31.4 millimeters. For number 2, this has the diameter is 3.6. That is the diameter, so I just plug in 3.14 times 3.6. And that gives us 11.304, or 11.3 if you round it to the nearest tenth, centimeters. It says round to the nearest tenth, so that should be 11.3 centimeters. Alright, next one. What is the area of each circle? Area equals pi times the radius squared. That means radius times itself, not times 2. Radius times itself. The first one gives me the radius. So area equals 3.14 times 3 squared. 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 times pi is 28.26, which rounds to 28.3 square feet. Remember that area is squared. For the next one, it gives you the diameter. If the diameter is 7, then the radius is 3.5, because the radius is half of the diameter. So area equals 3.14 times 3.5 squared. Remember that squared means you're multiplying 3.5 times itself. And when you multiply that by pi, it gives you 38.465, which rounds to 38.5 centimeters squared. What is the volume of a rectangular prism? So volume is the area of the base times the height. The area of a rectangle is length times width. So we're doing length times width times the height of the prism. The length is 5. The width is 3. The height of the prism is 7. And when we multiply those together, we get that the volume is 105 meters cubed. Remember that volume is cubed because this is 5 meters times 3 meters times 7 meters, so there's 3 different meters that we're multiplying together. A cube has 4-inch edges. What is its volume? So if it's 4, that means that, or if it's a cube, that means that it's 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64 cubic inches. What is the volume of this figure? So this is a triangular prism, which means volume is the area of the base times the height. To find the area of a triangle, you multiply base times height and divide by 2. So this triangle, remember to find the base and the height of the triangle, is the two sides that form the right angle in the triangle. So 9 times 5 is 45. And half of 45 is 22.5. So 22.5 is the area of the base. Once you find the area of that triangle, multiply it by the height of the prism. The height of a triangular prism is the side that connects the two triangles together. So I'm going to multiply that by 10, and that gives me a volume of 225 cubic yards. Find the surface area and round to the nearest tenth. So for surface area of a rectangular prism, there are 6 rectangles that you're trying to find. So I have my first one is this 11 times 6, which is 66. That's for the front rectangle and the back rectangle, which means that's a total of 132. For my left rectangle, I have 7 times 6, which is 42. That's for the right side and the left side. So that's a total of 84 for the left and right. And then the bottom is 11 times 7, which is 77. That's for the bottom and the top. So that's 154. Now to find the surface area, you add all of those together. 132 plus 84 plus 154 is 370 meters squared. Surface area is squared. All right, for the triangular prism, find the area. For a triangular prism, you have 2 triangles and 3 rectangles. Your triangles will be the same, but your rectangles may or may not be. It just depends on if it's isosceles, scalene, or what type of triangular prism that it is. So for my triangle, the base and the height of the triangle are the 2 sides that form the right angle. So that's 6 times 8. 6 times 8 is 48. Divided by 2 is 24. So 24 is the area of this triangle and the area of this triangle. So together, that gives me a total of 48 square feet for the front and the back triangles. Once you find the area of your triangle, multiply the height of the prism, so the line that connects the 2 triangles, by each side length of the triangle. So I have 12 times 6. 12 times 6 is 72. Then I have 12 times 10 for this front rectangle. 12 times 10 is 120. And then I have 12 times 8. And that's 96. So I'm going to add all of those together. 48 for my 2 triangles, plus 72 for my left rectangle, plus 120 for my right rectangle, and then add 96 for your bottom rectangle, and that's 336 square feet. All right, what's the area of these figures? So for composite figures, we're going to cut our shape into simple shapes. So we're going to take it from this complex shape to a simple shape. You can do it. There's multiple ways you can cut it. I'm just going to cut right here vertically. So I have 20 times 12 for this big rectangle. That's 240. Then I have 15 times 5 for this rectangle. That's 75. So now I add them together. 75 plus 240 is 315 millimeters squared. All right, for the next one, I'm going to cut horizontally. So I have 24 times 18. That is 432. Then I have 30 times, if this whole side is 27, but we're not using the top part. That's 18. That leaves me with 9 feet right here. So 30 times 9 is 270. And when I add 432 plus 270, I get 702 square feet. For the next one, I'm going to cut vertically to get a rectangle and a triangle. 14 times 12 is 168. The height of the triangle is 12. The base is, this whole thing is 22, but I'm not using the part that I used for the rectangle, so 22 minus 14 is 8. 12 times 8 is 96. 96 divided by 2, because it's a triangle, is 48. So now I add 168 and 48, and I will get 216 centimeters squared. All right, for this one, I'm going to cut here to make this rectangle, this semicircle, and this triangle. So I'm going to start with my rectangle. The rectangle is 4 inches plus 2 inches, which is 6 inches. 6 times 3 is 18. Then I have my triangle. This is 4 plus 2 is 6 here at the top. So I'm going to do 10 minus this 6 leaves me with this part, which is 4, and my height is 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So now I'm left, those two are pretty easy, but now I'm left with my semicircle. The area of a circle is pi times radius squared. 4 is the diameter of this semicircle. So I've got to divide 4 by 2 to get that my radius of this semicircle is 2. Area equals 3.14 times 2 squared. 3.14 times 2 squared is 12.56. But 12.56 is the area of a circle with a radius of 2. I don't have a whole circle, I have a semicircle. So I have to divide that by 2, and I'll get that 6.28 or 6.3 if I round to the nearest tenth. So now I add these three shapes together. 18 plus 6 plus 6.3 is 30.3 inches squared. Alright, there are multiple ways you can cut this last one. I'm just going to draw 2 horizontal lines. And so at the top, I have this rectangle that's 3 by 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Then in the middle, this side is 10. This side is 8 plus 9, which is 17. 10 times 17 is 170. And then at the bottom, I have 3 times 5, which is 15. When I add them all together, 170 plus 27 plus 15 is 212 square meters.